That's it, baby. Sugar Show stays undefeated. Let's switch over to UFC 281. Alex Pereira versus Izzy. I went from 11-1. Alex is going from unranked to beating Sean Strickland to fighting for the title. This is, I mean, what do you see here?
So first of all, let's do the math on this. My man is getting a title shot after 371 days in the UFC. 371 days. I mean, that's not quite as fast as Brock Lesnar, but it's pretty fucking close, right? So that's interesting, just as a starter, to mention. Like, he has been rushed to the front of this line. And obviously the guys who he fought, like Bruno Silva and then Sean Strickland, you know, they got some talent, but they weren't, he just wasn't like thoroughly tested in the way that you might imagine. This is an interesting one. I'm sure you guys have seen the first and second Izzy and Pereira fights as well. Izzy was teeing off on him. First of all, I thought Izzy won the first one and the judges didn't give it to him, whatever. In the second fight, he was teeing off on him, and it just looked to me like, and if you look at the Bruno Silva fight as well in MMA, I do wonder not so much about the wrestling. I don't really, my heart of hearts tells me that I don't think Izzy's going to do that, even if he potentially could. But I do think that there's a case to be made that when Pereira gets pressured backwards, and particularly up against the ropes, he and Izzy do that bit where they lean, the Tyson Fury bit. But you know, I think Izzy has more getting off the cage work, ready to like not get trapped there. And if you notice against the Bruno Silva fight, he got caught on the exits either way. Because he doesn't have that same lean and that same movement up against the cage quite naturally. I tend to think that, like, if Izzy can do that, that would push him there in that range and attack from there. That could be interesting. And the other part too is like, dude, you got to make a guy like Pereira miss. He stands kind of square on you, right? I talked about this with Dean Thomas. He stands kind of square on you, and they're really the only chances that you get. And this is where Izzy was bombing with the right hands from orthodox, right? Was when Pereira had his jab extended, and then he was coming over the top on the other side. But like, if you're just kind of square on with him, good fucking luck, man. You're going to need it. On the other side, Pereira, man, he is so, tell me if you guys disagree. Obviously, we know about his power. Good Lord, he is accurate. He is really, really accurate and a dynamic puncher on top of it. So I've been riding with Izzy for a long time. I know that his recent performances have not like got the fans on his side for whatever that is worth. But I just tend to think he's a bit more skilled. I could be completely fucking wrong. I realize it'll blow up in my face. I'll get memed for it, but I like Izzy's chances. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. It drives me crazy when people start talking about Izzy's last performances, how they're not entertaining. I'm like, dude, he's been defending the belt. He's been an active champion. He's fighting the number one guys. He's fighting the next guys in line. And sometimes fights aren't the most fun, but he's still continuing to put on performances for the fans. So it drives me crazy when people talk about him not being super entertaining, because him versus Kelvin Gastelum, I mean, that was because Kelvin brought it to him. Like, that's just, when you're the champ, I mean, you got to beat the champ to be the champ. So I think what he's been doing is, you know, it's working for him. And yeah, I would love to see him go out there and win. I would be sad to see. I like Alec. I mean, I met him once, didn't really talk. I don't think he speaks much English. He's giant. He's fucking terrifying. He's a scary human being. But I'd love to see Izzy win. But again, it's like when those little gloves and those guys are both that high level strikers, that's a fucking coin flip, really. But I do agree with you. I think Izzy has more tricks, especially in an octagon.
Yeah, I would say Izzy by decision. He just on the confidence he's rolling with right now, the team he's got around him, a big octagon. It's not a square ring this time. It's a big octagon, and Izzy's fast as fuck. So I'm gonna take Izzy by decision on that one.
Yeah, I tend to like that one as well. The other thing to sort of consider here, with the Izzy is against like Cannonier, for example, and you see this a little bit with Volkanovski, not so much in the last fight with Max where he just housed him, but dude, they can't lay a glove on this guy. Like, I mean, you've seen Izzy hit clean. It doesn't happen very often. And if it does in a fight, you won't see it for 2 or 3 more rounds. Like, he has this ability to, if you look at the numbers, I don't know if you guys look at MMA stats. I tend to look at them all the time. Even if they don't have so much value, I kind of look at him. He has this ability to, like, if you look at their baseline numbers for like strikes landed per minute, they get depressed against him because they can't fucking find him. They can't do anything to him. And I get the whole idea where, like, if you talk a big game and he came out with the Undertaker thing or whatever that was. I don't watch a lot of pro wrestling, but you know, there's a lot of dramatics for that, and people are like, okay, here it comes, and you don't get that. But skill for skill, dude, they're having a hard time finding him, and you know better than I do. That is not easy to do.
Yeah.
What's up, Sugar Squad? If you like this video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and click down below to check out the full episode and subscribe to be a part of the journey.